Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. I figured I should make one more video regarding Nero Fest. First of all, to make some edits to my farming guide, in particular part 2 of my farming guide focusing on farming efficiency, since if you remember there were some things in the wiki about which I wasn't sure, given that I made that video before the event was announced. Secondly, and most importantly, I wanted to share with you guys my personal farming comps, just to give you an example on how to use the information I've given you in my farming guide to create your own comps. Starting with the 2 revisions in my farming guide. First of all, it's confirmed you'll get 5 Lotto C from the event shop, so just as I've told you in part 2 of my farming guide. Here I've edited all the graphs, translating down by one both the orange dashed dotted lines and the green dashed lines. If this is your first time playing this event, or if you have burned all your previous Lotto C copies, then for max efficiency you should wait until getting 3 Lotto C drops before maximally breaking your first copy. Since you get 1 extra free C, in order to reach the max plus 12 drop bonus, aka your 5th maximally broken C, you'll need a total of 20 C drops instead of 21. Then, farming the mixed node compared to single node will save you on average 58.5 golden apples for this 5th and final maximally broken C. The total number of apples you'll need in the mixed node in order to reach this maximum drop bonus is on average 250 plus minus 47 golden apples, where the standard deviation of golden apple spent at fixed C drops is obtained from Pascal distribution. Of course, you could find all these numbers by simply looking at the graphs in part 2 of my farming guide, since I already told you there how to modify this graph if you had more copies of the Lotto C, but since I'm here making this video I wanted to give you guys the edited version. The second revision regards the copy farming section. Strangely enough, I was unsure about the 5 copies of the Lotto C from the shop, but for this one I also checked the old wiki page from the JP side for the original Nero Fest. In both of those pages, Nero Fest was listed as twice more efficient when it comes to copy farming, so I figured it wasn't a mistake if it was listed as such for both the original Nero Fest and the rerun. As it turns out, it was a mistake. So when it comes to selling the shop currencies you'll get by farming the level 90 plus mixed nodes, Grand Nero Fest is just as efficient as previous lottery events, meaning we just have to divide by 2 all the numbers you have found in part 2 of my guide. In practice, assuming you cleared the event shop and no gacha C is used in your party, the third round on average gives you 500,000 copies for each golden apple spent. So basically you'll get half the golden apple spent has millions of copies. Now that we are done with the edits, let's take a look at my personal farming comps for all 3 rotations. And strangely enough, they are all crit comps, the ones I have avoided giving you in part 3 of my farming guide focusing on farming comps. The main reason I'm using these crit comps is because I want an extra party slot for bond farming in the backline, since I need those bond levels to get more coins for my favorite units, given that in JP anniversary they didn't announce a fix for the coins. My god, Lasengol, you had one job in 2 years. Anyway, keep in mind that I'm using Fate Grand Automata for farming, and that's the only reason I'm fine using these crit comps. If you are farming manually the old-fashioned way, having to select specific face cards may require a bit more extra focus, so you may tire earlier, compared to using mechanical NP-only comps for which you can develop muscle memory. At the end of the story, even if I told you that Castoria was still going strong for this lottery, and it's true if you want to use farming comps without RNG, I decided to fully embrace the new Buster meta myself. For round 1, I'm using this Gilgamesh Buster Looping Crit 6-slot comp. Since I don't have any AoE archer with 50% NP charge, Gilgamesh is my best choice. You will need lowered mana loading and Mage Association Mystic Code. My own Gilgamesh is NP1 but grailed to level 100, and in general I would recommend NP2 if you want to use this setup. Gilgamesh will clear wave 3 even at NP1, so the only problems are in room 1 and room 2. In room 1 you will have 40 stars to crit, and you can also use Mage Association Mystic Code to reduce the RNG for crits by shuffling your deck of face cards for one Buster card. In room 2, Gilgamesh can leave max 55k HP at MP1 or max 25k HP at MP2. Just like in my case, Grails can help. Remember that you will have Buster first card bonus and passive stars from the Lotto CE on top of the deck shuffle if you have not used in room 1, so you should be able to clear wave 2 with face card very consistently. If you don't have Gilgamesh, other 30% charger DPS can work with lowered append. For example, in order of decreasing damage, Napoleon and Arjuna Altar. Instead, 50% charger DPS can use other Mystic Code for damage in room 2, like Ishtar, Tesla and Morgan. In particular, both Napoleon and Tesla will have special damage in wave 3, just like Gilgamesh. I was tempted to use my SSR ticket on Tesla, but for now I'm waiting. You can bet they're gonna buff Gilgamesh Golden Rule to give him another 20% charge. For round 2 I'm going with this Melusine and Karna Buster Crit 6-slot setup, and that's because I have NP2 Karna which can deal special damage in wave 3, while of course Melusine avoided me. Given how strong Melusine is, I should be able to find at least an NP2 Melusine from my whale friends on the supports list. I would advise NP2 for both Melusine and Karna, since basically you will always clear room 2 with NP only, while Karna will clear on average room 3. NP2 Lancer Artoria with lowered append can replace Melusine, clearing room 2 with NP only. In this case you will lose 10 crit star in room 1, but thanks to her charisma buff in Karna, you'll be able to kill with MP only in both room 2 and room 3. For this setup we are using Oberon skill 3 in room 2, since Karna damage in room 3 is already great. In practice the only RNG is in room 1, where you'll have 45 crit stars, so basically guaranteed crits, with both Karna and Melusine having crit buffs, so it's a very reliable and consistent crit comp, given that even Oberon has class advantage if needed. In practice my main support targets are Melusine and Lartoria, but this comp could also work with Ereshkigal or Morgan, of course with lowered mana loading just like Lartoria. Even them can buff my Karna to make room 3 an MP only clear, but their damage in room 2 even with Oberon skill 3 is low, so you'll need something like MP5, while Artoria and Melusine can work reliably at MP2. If unlike me you have one of them, you can use them together with Melusine in order to NP in all 3 rooms. Basically using Melusine Arts NP in room 1 and then Buster NP in room 2. Lartoria is still the best choice, even if this time she's dealing with room 3, since her chaotic and evil special damage works on both the enemies you will find in room 3. In particular, both stacks will work on Demia, while only one stack will work on Ash. Finally, for round 3, I'm hoping I'll be able to find an MP5 caster Q on supports, in the old slot of course, since the caster slot is already full of supports, and that's because I'm very far away from finishing Lost Well 6. so no rank up for my NP3 caster coup. Of course, without using my own caster coup, I don't get the benefit of the lowest possible party cost. But still, I can use coup rank up from support, even if I haven't cleared the Lost level 6 yet. I can level up my Atlas Mystic Code, which is not yet at level 10, and my party cost will be the same as my other comps for round 1 and 2. So I will be able to bond farm with a 5-star servant of my choice in the back slots. The only RNG for this comp is in room 2, where even MP5 caster coup can leave max 22k HP for face cards. However, we will have Bastard card first bonus and guaranteed crits, with a total of 52 crit stars, so it should be a very consistent and reliable clear, even considering that Oberon has class disadvantage. And there you have it, these are my 3 farming comps for all 3 rotations. I'm focusing my apples in round 2 and round 3, since the Ascension materials dropped are more recent. From round 1 I would only need the Magatamas, but they will be featured in the Christmas lottery in December. Furthermore, as you should remember from part 2 of my farming guide, round 2 and round 3 are just slightly more efficient when it comes to Lotto currency and Kupi farming. And in round 3 I will also be able to level up Atlas Mystic Code, so that's where most of my apples will go. If any of you watching is on my friend list in the game, and you have MP5 caster coup with the rank up of Lost level 6 done, please put him in the all slot and I'll be sure to give you personally a lot of friend points for this lottery. That's all for this video. As always, if you have found this type of content useful, please let me know by leaving a comment or a like and subscribing to the channel. That way you'll be notified when I will put out another farming guide, and most importantly you will give me strength to be able to make those videos. I haven't been using all my free time making the recent ones, so I wasn't able to respond to all the comments. Heck, I have yet to do any of the challenge quest for Nero Fest, but don't worry, starting from tomorrow I'll be able to read through them all and respond to you guys. With that said, thank you very much for watching, I will see you next time. Bye bye.